Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am so excited to be here with you today at the Your Fulfilled Life Expert Summit. And today we are going to be talking to this beautiful expert beside me, Stacy, about living her fulfilled life and following her calling and how you can do that too in your life. So if you haven't met me yet, my name is Antiqua Lisha, and I am the CEO here at Your Own University. And beside me here is the one and only Stacey Curtis, and she is the creator of Write of Your Life podcast and storytelling.com, a life story and memoir writing course where she teaches people how to trace their trouble, transcribe their tales, and transform their lives. And I'm sure she's done the same for herself. So we're going to learn all of this. And she has some pretty amazing credits underneath her belt as well that maybe she'll get into. So I know that you're extremely busy. Stacy has an appointment right after this too. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to dive right in. These are short segments. They're about 20 minutes long. We're going to power pack them to make sure that you can get all the information, get everything that you need to really take your life to the next level and step into a new level of fulfillment in your life. And also deepen the experience that we're having as you go through your featured book that some of the summit members have been writing in for the summit. So if you have not gotten your copy of Your Fulfilled Life, It Depends on You e-media book, then you can download your copy today at yourownuniversity.org. And so are you ready, Stacy?
I am absolutely ready. Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So let's just dive right in. What shifts in your life had you embrace your purpose and this writing?
Well, I was about 10 years into a marriage with a person that I now know to be a sociopath. And it was crazy. It was a difficult marriage, but I didn't understand how difficult it was until later on. But I discovered him advertising himself on Craigslist. So, of course, started divorce proceedings, and I discovered exactly what a sociopath was and the amount of damage that they could do. It's just incredible. The stories that I have are crazy. And
so explain that really fast, because some of us have no idea like what a sociopath is. So is there a short version of like, what is that?
Yeah. A sociopath is someone who does not have feelings. They can mimic, they can pretend to have feelings, but they do not. They have no empathy, no sympathy, no feelings whatsoever. The world is their play thing, and the people in it are their play toys. And so if you've ever been manipulated by somebody, actually, I'll tell you all, the very first sign of a sociopath is someone who wants you to feel sorry for them. So as soon as you meet them, poor me, and then you get sucked in, and then they do all kinds of crazy things. So if you've ever thought, well, did I really say that, or I didn't feel that, and they're trying to make you, think that you're crazy, that's probably a sociopath.
So it's like a narcissist and then some.
Yes. And
all right. So back to your story. So you're here 10 years ago. You've done Craigslist. You're moving forward.
I survived. And people were telling me, man, that is so crazy. I mean, it's unbelievable, the stories that you're telling. You should write those down. And so it's very difficult, of course, but my mother sent me some birthday money, and, as moms always do. And I used it to get into a life story or memoir class at the local place where I, loved in New York. It's called Writers and Books in Rochester, New York. And it was fabulous. And in fact, the people there loved the stories that I wrote so much that they gave me a scholarship to come back the second semester. And it was incredible to be able to tell those stories. And here's what happened. When you discover your life theme, which you do when you're writing your life about your life and you're telling your life stories, when you discover your life theme, you uncover that wisdom that maybe you learned, or maybe you should have learned, but you didn't. And I realized that I did not raise my hand throughout life, not in kindergarten, not in grade school, not in, I was the person in the back, shy. And I didn't raise my hand and say, that's not right, throughout my entire life. And because I recognized that, I was able to change that. So actually my future self is benefiting by me, looking back in the past and writing about that.
Yeah.
And
I
so,
love that.
yeah.
And do that a lot. Yeah. In my own coaching, like this story is so powerful, and that's where you find the genius.
Absolutely.
And I love how you said, something like raising your hand, because a lot of times we don't recognize. It's so natural, these habits of ours. It's so natural what's holding us back or what's propelling us forward, that we don't even know. We don't even recognize it anymore. And so writing it is so powerful.
And a lot
of
us make the same mistakes again and again. And in fact, I was married twice, and so, we wonder, why in the world I'm never going to make that mistake again. And then you go and do it. But until you actually write about that and trace where that trouble came from, and transform your life by transcribing your tale and talking about it and writing about it, then as human beings, we have an incredible capacity of pulling the wool over our own eyes. Mm-hmm. And this is what writing does, is it takes that wool away and you can see yourself. And it's incredibly easy, but it's very difficult as well.
Yeah. So, I love this. And I think I'm hearing you saying, like, you don't have to write a book. You don't have to like write this big thing. It's just writing it. And I remember I was 19, I was doing hair at Charisma in Boulder, Colorado, going to college. And this beautiful woman walked in, and this really changed my life. And I'm just having the story, but she walked in, I was doing her hair, and she had lost a ton of weight. And I was like, what did you do? And she's like, I wrote my story.
I believe
she journaled it. And that's when I went back to my very first like birth story that I had heard, and I that's when I started writing my own story, which is just a journal. And that was the beginning of my true deep trauma transformational work, where I owned it.
Absolutely.
So I'm so resonating with what you're saying. So top tips that you have for people to get started, for people to do this, for people to step into this creation of power and fulfillment that you're speaking into right now. Like, what do you live by?
Right. Well, one of the first things is to get help and just bounce ideas off of someone, whether it's a counselor or a friend. And typically your friends are going to come around you and say, oh, you can get through this. But really what you need is a good counselor to bounce ideas off of. So I love that first and foremost. And they will help you get through some things. And then go through some exercises to discover your life theme, because it might not be what you think. I thought my life theme was, hey, I can achieve whatever I want. I was a very successful person, a businesswoman, making a lot of money. And it's
so I want to interject here, because I want people to really listen to that. Like, your success, we didn't really talk about that. You didn't boast at all in your intro. But like, when it comes to writing, you're the editor-in-chief of a quite successful magazine. So will you touch on that just a little bit, so people in the audience, so everybody knows like how writing has really impacted your life, and where you're coming from in that place of like success and everything?
Right. Well, my success was in the business world first, not in the writing world. And so I was a consultant and just very successful in business. And yet this still happened to me. So it happens to people from all walks of life, where you don't really understand your life theme, and you don't really understand yourself. And so now that's what I do at lifestorytelling.com, is teach people how to discover their life theme. So my life theme was not, I'm a very successful person, I'm intelligent, I go out and I make things happen. I thought that's what it
Nice.
was, but it wasn't. My life theme was I never raised my hand, and I've changed that. And so that's what's incredibly helpful is to go through the process to discover what your true life theme is. And
Mhm.
then that's where you start writing. You don't necessarily have to start writing of here's where I was born and here's what happened as a child. You uncover your life theme and then pull out the threads of your life where that life theme has shown its face and start writing
Mm.
there. And that's incredibly healing. And you just you can truly change your life by writing about your life, and your future self will thank you for it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So, what is your mission now? Like with this whole movement, with everything that you're doing, is you've raised your hand,
Mhm.
you've stepped into the writing world. What is your mission now, and how can we get involved in that?
Well, I'm glad you asked that because my mission now is to help people who are going through or have been through difficult circumstances write about their lives in order to process the junk and be wiser in the future. And
Mhm.
I really have a heart for that because it helped me tremendously. Yeah, I've always kind of written throughout my life. I was the go-to person typically in the family or in in the business world. Hey, would you take a look at this or would you write this? And I love words. But until I actually started writing and telling my tale, I didn't really start healing. And so
Mm.
that's my mission. I want to help people who are going through this or who have been through this to be able to process what their junk is so they can have a better life.
Wow, awesome. So do you, I just have a quick question. Is the theme usually, because you're like, yours is like something you were missing, like not raising your hand, where I feel like my theme was something else. Maybe it's just the perspective in which, I mean, meaning something else, meaning positive. Like
Hmm.
my theme
Right,
was like every time there was a big something, like I got on stage and
right,
I was singing again, and then it was like, oh, there's my confidence. There's Antiqua. There she's at. So I have to have this music in my life and the stage in my life. This platform is like you're supposed to be out in front.
right.
Yeah, which is why I do summits and have things like this, is because this is my theme in life. Um,
Exactly.
but it didn't feel like something I wasn't doing. It was something that, I've been doing since I was 2.5. It was like this repetitive, like no matter what happened, I came back to it. Do you find that it's usually something that's holding back, or can it be something that was propelling you forward that was so natural you didn't recognize you haven't leaned into it, or
Yeah,
both?
it can be both. So it can be
Or do I have another theme? That's my question, really.
there you
Or do I
go.
have another theme?
Yes, you can have more than one theme, and you can have,
Oh!
yes, you can have as many themes as you want. But
Hmm.
the key is to identify those hurtful themes, the things that are in your mind and your brain that are causing you to make some of those choices,
Okay.
or changing your life for the worse, and
Okay.
causing you not to learn those life lessons that you really need to learn. And even you think you've learned them, but you just keep going back and doing the same thing over again.
Yeah.
So you've got to uncover that. And it's okay to be like, I'm still a successful businesswoman. I'm now an entrepreneur and I make things happen. I love that. But that
Yeah.
one theme that I had that underlying that was under there that I didn't realize, when I brought that out to the surface, I was able to change that. And so it's not
Yeah.
sabotaging me anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. Sweet. So you have a very beautiful, beautiful gift for the audience for showing up today, for saying
Yeah.
yes to the summit.
Yes.
Will you tell us a little bit about your
I
gift?
sure do. It's a download. It's called Five Myths of Life Story Writing. Because a lot of people think, oh, I don't want to write an autobiography or a memoir, or I'm going to be embarrassed or somebody's going to be angry. You
Right.
don't have to worry about any of that. It's really easy. And so I go through the 5 myths of life story writing and show you how you can do it as well.
I love it. I love that. So we have the link here on the page. Do you want to give out the URL just in case somebody needs it, or we have
Yeah.
this interview posted 100 different places because it's so wonderful and rad.
Sure. If you go to rightofyourlife.com, and it will be in the sidebar, there's a picture that will say 5 myths of life story writing. You can click on that and you can download it there.
Awesome. So everybody, that's such a great gift. You got to go and grab it.
You can go and have the right of your life too. So
I love that. The right of your life. I mean, that's really fulfillment, like wrapped up in everything. It's just feeling that power and that empowerment in your life. So Stacey, thank you so much for sharing your time and encouraging us just to get out there and write and find our themes.
Absolutely.
And some of the saboteur themes too, to take control back. I love it. So everybody, your life is so important. At Your Own University, studying yourself and knowing yourself, we believe, is your greatest asset. And when you know yourself, you can offer yourself to the world, and that's where service is, and that's where life is for the beginning of everything. It begins within you. And so we really encourage that. And over the last 20 years, I have been studying the self, and both through personal experience and my life walk, because this is my mission, my calling, and also through tons of schooling and education and coaching and putting together my own programs. And my award-winning program, Divine in 9, I have put together in a package that is online that you can get instant access to. You can discover the 6 power zones of your body that when you have control over, you define them for yourself, you literally go, oh, and the pieces of your puzzle fall into place, and it's across the board. It happens. It's scientific. It's down to the earth, and you'll go, oh, I get it. And so in this course, I help you to reclaiming your power immediately by clicking the link below and get a very, very special summit price that I'm really excited about. So go ahead and take advantage of that. And we will see you next time in the expert corner here at Your Own University in the Life Fulfilled Summit. Stacey, once again, thank you so much for being here.
My joy.
Absolutely rock. I cannot wait to get your program myself. And everybody, click the link and say yes to really dissolving the 5 myths within you through writing. Awesome.
Absolutely.